Someone is passing the window and they're seeing me film, and this is very awkward. Hello, Lovely Bookworms. I'm Esmay from Paradise of Pages on Instagram, and welcome to a new video. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the books that I've read in January. Before I start talking about the actual books, let me just say that this was an amazing reading month for me. I think I read 12 or 13 books. I'll just put a playing how many I've actually read because I'm very bad with digits. So let's get into the books very quickly because I need to go through them fast like daydreams because there are so many of them. Let's go. Let's start with a book that I have read for my studies. I want to write my thesis on this. Someone is passing the window and they're seeing me film, and this is very awkward. Why do people keep walking their dogs here? Come on. Oh, it's a little pupper. So the first book that I want to mention is one that I want to write my thesis on, hence why I read it, and that is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Wow. Come on. And that one is by Lewis Carroll, and that is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. There. I read this one in January, as I already said, and I really enjoyed it. I also went through it pretty fast, which I didn't expect, and something that I really enjoy are like the illustrations that are in here, for example, but the entire book is like littered with these illustrations, and I just thought that was such a fun and quick book. I really didn't expect that, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. The next few books on my list are all rereads, apart from the 2 short stories that I've added to them, so let's start with those. I've read the short stories to The Pirate's Wish and The Assassin's Curse. It should be the other way around, Esmay. So the short stories to The Assassin's Curse and The Pirate's Wish. Can't pronounce this to save my life, but that's okay. And that is, let me try this, The Automaton's Treasure. You can see it here, and I really enjoyed that one, and I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. I also read The Witch's Betrayal, which is also a short story that comes before The Assassin's Curse. Also gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. And then I reread The Pirate's Wish. I'm doing it the wrong way around again. And then I reread The Assassin's Curse and The Pirate's Wish. I really enjoyed this duology when I read it last year, so I decided to read it again. And the first time around, I gave both of them 4 out of 5 stars, but I gave them 4.5 out of 5 now because the fact that I picked them up again and loved them even more than the first time sort of shows me that I really enjoy it. I do have to say that the plot and everything is not the best thing in the world, but it's just such an enjoyable book. An enjoyable duology, and I love the characters so much that I gave both of them 4.5 out of 5 stars this time around. While we're on the topic of rereading things, let's get to the other 2 books that I've reread, and you really shouldn't be surprised about the books that I'm about to show you because I read them almost monthly at this point, and that is The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. Does it need more words, really? I don't think I have to express the amount of love I have for these. I think I've read them a total of 4 times now, and I just keep reading them. I know I'm a horrible person, but I just keep reading them. They're just so good, and obviously I gave these 5 out of 5 stars, just like all the other times that I've read them. Sorry. I just love them so much, and basically what these books do is I read them and then I get into the reading mood again, and it just helps me further my reading. The next book that I've read is actually an ARC, and I received this one in the December Fairy Loot box, I think. This is, I think, coming out in September, or at least that's what the cover of this book says, and that is The Storm Crow by Kayleen Josephson. I think the premise of this book is really good. Basically, the main character, Anthea, loses her entire life because her life revolves around crows in every way, shape, or form, and all of them are killed except for one egg, and Anthea finds this one, and she also, and from there on, the story sort of progresses. Please, if you want to know more about this book, please just go to Goodreads, because I am not that good at synopsises. We should know this by now. So if I offend you by my very bad synopsis skills, I'm sorry. And yeah, I thought the premise of this book was really interesting. It read really fast, most of the characters were really enjoyable, really loved the protagonist. However, one character in this book really reminded me of Mel from Shadow and Bone. I do not like Mel from Shadow and Bone. I dare say that I hate Mel from Shadow and Bone. And this character, this boy in this book, no. Also, I don't like what they did in the ending with some of the characters and the way that they shaped things. It just had so much potential and it did not deliver, in my opinion. And considering I still enjoyed it and I will be picking up the second book, I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. Moving on from one of my least favorite reads to one of my absolute favorite reads of this month. That was Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. We should not be surprised that I love this, because we all know that The Kiss of Deception is one of my absolute favorite series ever. But this one was so incredible. I loved the characters, I loved the way the world was shaped, even further than the world was already developed in The Kiss of Deception. I loved seeing old characters, I loved every single new character, and Jace and Kazi are incredible. I love them so much, and I dare say that I like this book more than I love The Kiss of Deception. They're very, very close, but I think I might love this one more. Hence, obviously, why I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I've read is one that I read for my studies, and that is Animal Farm by George Orwell. Really, really enjoyed it. Didn't expect that. Also finished it in a day. Also did not expect that. I had the feeling that I'd be dragging myself through this book for weeks, which I do not have the time for, but you know. Really, really enjoyed it. I think it is such an influential and important book for everybody to read, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I want to mention is a book that was challenged to me by Femke. I also finished City of Ghosts by V.E. Schwab, or Victoria Schwab. I think it's officially Victoria Schwab. And also really, really enjoyed that one. It was quick, it was funny, but for a children's book, it was also pretty twisted in a way that I really enjoyed it. I love twisted books and twisted characters, and I don't know, the plot was just super, super interesting. And I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. If I'm correct, there are only 2 more books on my TBR, and the first one being The Wicked King by Holly Black. This book came out in January, I think January the 8th. So a little bit before my birthday, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was better than The Cruel Prince, because The Cruel Prince was overly overhyped. Is that even a sentence? But it was really overhyped for me, and it did not deliver on every aspect that I was hoping it would. The second book was way better in my opinion. I really loved seeing more of Carden, but there was not enough of Carden, if you get what I mean. Also, the ending was bloody brilliant. However, up till the second part of the book, I thought it was pretty average. It was enjoyable, it was okay, but a lot of things annoyed the hell out of me. Most of the characters I do not like. The only one I really, really like is Carden, and Jude is okay. Also really like her oldest sister, but Taryn, I think it's Taryn. God, I hate Taryn. Hate her father. Hate most of the fairies. I hate most of the characters in here, which is a little bit problematic, but there's that. And considering I thought that the second half was amazing and the first half was pretty average, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. The last book is one that I love to bits. I love it so, so much, and that is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I finished this in the first few days of the new year, actually, and no matter how big it is, I flew right through it. Absolutely loved it. I think it was a perfect ending to this duology, and I really hope that there will be more in this world with these characters, and I just love them all so much. And I didn't cry nearly as much as I thought I did. I think I cried once, so that's a pretty good score because I was expecting to cry the entire way through. So yeah, I was really surprised that I was not crying, and obviously I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Was amazing, would definitely recommend. And this is definitely going onto my favorites list. Well, it's already on my favorites list, so there's that, but yes, loved it. I think that is the last book. I don't think I've forgotten anything, and I have to say that I really enjoyed reading this month. I was in the reading flow and going at a steady pace. Really enjoyed most of the books that I've read. That said though, this is the end of this video. I want to thank you for watching. Please comment down below which books you've read in January. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and press that little bell icon so you get post notifications every single time that we post. And I will see you guys the next time. Bye!